Like most houses in Southwest Florida, we are on a well and septic system. Our particular well has a sediment filter that filters the water before it goes into the water softener, and every 3 months I put a new filter in. The process is pretty simple. I just turn the red valve a quarter of a turn to shut the water off, push the little red button on top of the filter housing to release the pressure, and then use a filter wrench, kind of like an oil filter wrench, to loosen up the filter housing and remove the disposable element. Once I got the housing loosened, it took a few turns to get it off, and then to my horror, I saw what the inside filter looked like. You can see that there's an O-ring on top which you reuse. And then I took the filter out, and it was much worse than I had imagined. Now remember, this is the water that we drink coming from the well. So once I poured the water out of the container and I pulled the filter out, you can see how disgusting it was. It had all sorts of things growing on it, and slime and nastiness. And from what I understand, all of this is harmless, but I still don't want to drink it. Since this is part of my routine maintenance, and I've done this many times before I shut the water off, I got a bucket and filled it with some water and also added some bleach so I could clean the filter housing. I think this is the worst that I've seen the filter, and I don't know if it has to do with the heat we've been having or the fact that it's exposed to sunlight, but it was looking pretty nasty. So it does clean up very easily though. I just use a rag and some bleach and water and wipe out the inside of the filter canister and clean the threads and wipe off the O-ring, because that's all going to get reused. You can see as I wash the filter canister out with the rag and the bleach and water, it dislodges all the chunks of mold and scum and nastiness. They come right out. Everything wipes right out, and I don't need to use any soap. It's just that the canister has a bunch of little grooves that I have to get the rag into, as well as the filter housing underneath has a bunch of little grooves. So I take a bleach and water soaked rag and try to wipe it out as best as I can. Once I get it all wiped out, I just open up that red valve and turn the water on, and it helps to dislodge anything else that might be up inside of the housing. I'll do that a couple of times. The particular filter that I use is a 25 micron from A.O. Smith. I bought it at Lowe's and it costs about $30. And I think what I'm going to do now is replace it every 2 months instead of every 3. It's just cheap insurance for nice clean water. Here I'm putting that O-ring back in place, and then once it's in the little groove on top of the canister, it fits back into the filter housing and it just spins on. Once it's snugged up, I just use the filter wrench and give it about a quarter of a turn just to make sure it doesn't leak. After that's done, I slowly turn the water back on and check for leaks. The whole process is really easy to do, and it saves about $100 from having a plumber or a water company coming out and doing it for you. Thanks for watching.